I want to start by speaking directly to your fatigue, the deep exhaustion that comes from caring too much, that constant state of anxiety, of micromanaging every detail of your life, of trying to force the results you want in your relationship, your career, and your well-being, only to encounter more resistance, more frustration, and more closed doors. It's the feeling of trying to push a river, a Herculean effort that doesn't move you an inch and only drains you of all your life force. And it's because of this pain that we need, first of all, to address the title of this meeting. In the profound wisdom of Carl Jung, stopping caring does not mean in any way becoming apathetic, nihilistic, or indifferent to your own life. It means something infinitely more powerful and revolutionary. It means consciously removing the anxious, fearful, controlling energy of your ego from the process so that the higher intelligence of yourself, your soul, can finally have the space and permission to orchestrate your reality. Think of yourself as an anxious gardener. You plant a precious seed in the ground, the seed of your desire, but driven by distrust and the need for control, you return to the garden every day and dig up the seed to see if it is growing. Your excessive care, your worry, is actually killing the potential of the seed. Ceasing to care, in the language of the soul, is the act of becoming a wise gardener. It is trusting the earth, the rain, and the sun. It is allowing the invisible and miraculous process of life to happen in the dark without your interference. My promise to you today is that together, we will reveal the 5 psychological and energetic laws that explain why your attachment to control is the real block to your dream. And most importantly, we will learn to cultivate a sacred indifference, a state of deep, detached trust that, paradoxically, allows everything you desire most to begin flowing toward you with a grace and ease that your effort could never achieve. What if your greatest act of power is not effort, but surrender? What if the universe was just waiting for you to let go of the steering wheel so it could show you the most beautiful and efficient way home? The first law we will explore is the physics of resistance, and the pain it exposes is that of feeling stuck in quicksand. It is the feeling that the more you strive to achieve a goal, the further away it seems to be. The more you fight to get out of a situation, the deeper you sink into it. It is the frustration of putting all your strength, all your intention, all your care, only to see your dreams become mirages that fade into the distance as you desperately run toward them. What neuroscience shows us today is that the state of caring too much, of obsessive worrying, is a state of survival. Neurologically, your brain is operating at high beta wave, the rhythm of stress and alertness, and your body is flooded with cortisol. And energetically, you are emitting into the quantum field the exact electromagnetic signature of the absence of what you want. Your vibration is not that of your desire fulfilled. Your vibration is that of the lack of it, the fear of not having it, and the need for it to happen so that you can finally feel peace. And here is the revelation that changes everything. The universe, or the quantum field, does not respond to your verbalized desire. It responds to your state of being, to your vibration. By obsessively worrying about an outcome, you are actually practicing and perfecting, for hours on end, the feeling of not having it. Your energy is not a request. It is a statement, and your constant statement to the universe has been, "This thing I want is not here, and I don't trust it to come." And the universe, like a faithful mirror, only reflects back this truth of yours, giving you more reasons not to trust. To diagnose your own energetic signal, we invite you to take a quick, emotional thermometer. Think now about your most important goal, that desire you have been pursuing with so much effort, and then be brutally honest with yourself and identify what is the primary emotion, the background emotion that arises when you think about it. Is it a feeling of excitement, joy, and confidence, as if it were already yours? Or is it a feeling of anxiety, fear of failure, and a tightness in your chest? This emotion that you feel is the true signal that you are sending to the field of reality 24 hours a day. Trying to achieve a goal while in a state of worry and distrust is like trying to sail a boat with the anchor firmly planted on the bottom of the ocean. The engine of your will may be roaring, the sails of your intention may be full of wind, but the heavy anchor of your anxiety, your need for control, and your lack of confidence keeps you stuck in exactly the same place, wasting immense fuel to go nowhere. The second law we need to understand is that of the tyranny of the ego. And the pain it reveals to us is the anger and disappointment we feel when life doesn't follow our script. It is the frustration of when things don't happen exactly how, when, and with whom we plan. It is our inability to deal with the deviation, the surprises, and the mistakes in our perfect plan, which leaves us with the feeling that we have been betrayed by life, or that we have failed in our control. Here, Jung's psychology offers us a vital distinction, the difference between the ego and the self. Our ego, the center of our consciousness, is like a field general in a war. It is tactical, it is logical, and it is brilliant at executing plans. But its vision is limited to what it can see of the immediate battle, based only on what it already knows from the past. The self, on the other hand, the center of our entire psyche, is the strategic commander. It has access to the complete map of the war, including the secret paths, the shortcuts through the mountain, and the allies to come. Your excessive caution and your need for control are the field general stubbornly trying to win the war alone, refusing the guidance of the higher intelligence of central command. And the breaking of expectation here is liberating. The quickest and most efficient path to your goal is almost never the straight line that your ego has drawn. The self, the higher intelligence of life, operates through synchronicity. It orchestrates encounters, ideas, and events that, to the limited vision of the ego, seem like accidents, delays, or detours, but which are, in fact, divine shortcuts. By clinging rigidly to your plan, you are unwittingly refusing the miracles and more elegant solutions that the universe is trying to offer you. To begin practicing this trust in higher intelligence, you are invited to a ritual of delegation, a contract with self. Take a sheet of paper. At the top, write your intention or desire clearly. Then below, write the following word, like a sacred contract. Dear self, dear universe, this is my stated intention. I commit to nurturing my inner peace, keeping my heart open, and taking action when genuine inspiration strikes. From now on, I delegate to you full responsibility for the how, the when, and every detail. Please surprise me. Think of your ego as a slightly arrogant conductor who insists that the orchestra play only the simple, repetitive melody that he himself composed. The self is the very music of the universe, a vast, complex, and magnificently beautiful symphony. The act of stopping caring about control is the moment when the conductor finally realizes the limitations of his own composition, puts down his baton, sits in the front row, and allows himself, for the first time, to be completely swept away by the beauty of a music that he does not control, but to which his soul was created to dance. Even though your mind understands that ego control is a trap, your body still feels the fear. It is the paralyzing anguish that if you relax your control, if you stop trying so hard, everything you have built will crumble. It is the fear of being seen as lazy, as careless, as a failure. And this fear keeps you on a tightrope, tense and exhausted, afraid to take the next step, and at the same time, afraid to stand still. And the antidote to this fear is the central practice of this philosophy, the practice of sacred indifference. And this is, perhaps, the most misunderstood idea of all. Sacred indifference is not giving up on your dreams. It is the heightened state of caring deeply about your intention, your desire, but becoming divinely indifferent to the specific outcome, the timeline, and how it manifests. It is the act of courageously anchoring your happiness and peace in your inner state of being now, rather than in the achievement of a future goal. And the revelation that frees your soul from the prison of anxiety is this: your point of ultimate power is reached at the very moment when you can look at your desire and say, with complete sincerity, I deeply desire this to happen, but if for some reason it doesn't, I will be fine. My peace is non-negotiable. Paradoxically, it is this state of emotional self-sufficiency, this energy of non-need, that makes you magnetically irresistible to the results you desire. You stop needing that outcome to be happy, and so you begin to allow it to come to you, To train your brain to achieve this step, we invite you to the Divine Worst Case Scenario exercise. It is a 3-step technique. First, for a moment, visualize your goal not being realized. Allow yourself to feel the pang of fear or disappointment. Don't run from it. Second, take a deep breath, and as you feel this emotion, ask yourself with genuine curiosity, what if this failure is actually a protection? What if it is a redirection of my soul to something even better, something I can't even imagine right now? And third, imagine an unexpected and positive door opening from this worst-case scenario. This exercise trains your brain to disassociate the idea of failure from the idea of catastrophe and teaches you to trust in the greater wisdom of life. Think of caring too much or attachment as holding a small bird tightly in your hand, afraid it will fly away. By doing this, you are not protecting it. You are suffocating and hurting it. To stop caring, to practice sacred indifference, is the act of gently opening your hand with trust. The bird can choose to fly away, and that is freedom, or it can choose to stay, perched on your open hand, and that is true love. In either case, you are at peace, because your peace was never in the bird. It was always in your ability to open your hand. When we are caught up in struggle and effort, the deepest pain we feel is that of cosmic loneliness. It is the feeling that we are completely alone in our journey, that the universe is a mute, random place, indifferent to our suffering and our desires. It is the feeling that there is no greater plan, no intelligence guiding us, and that we are left to our own devices, or lack thereof. And what happens when you practice sacred indifference, when you finally silence the noise of your ego, is the emergence of synchronicity. For Jung, synchronicity is the connecting principle that weaves the fabric of reality. When your ego stops making noise with its worries, its plans, and its demands, it finally creates the silence necessary for you to begin to hear the whispers of yourself. And these inner whispers manifest in the outer world as meaningful coincidence, as improbable events that seem to directly answer your most intimate question. And here is the revelation that turns your world upside down. The miracle, the sign, the chance encounters don't start happening because you let go of control. They were there all along, trying to get your attention. You were simply too busy, too focused on your own tiny, anxious map to see the signs that life was putting on the road for you. Letting go of control isn't about letting go of the steering wheel. It's about finally taking your eyes off your mental map and looking out the window to see the real landscape with all its unexpected signs and shortcuts. To train your ability to see this new reality, you're invited to the clue game. After you've done your delegation ritual, spend an entire day with one simple intention. Just notice. Don't look for signs. Don't ask for answers. Just relax your mind and notice the strange, meaningful little things that happen around you. The song that starts playing on the radio with the exact lyrics to what you were feeling. The phrase you hear from a stranger on the street. The animal that crosses your path unexpectedly. Just write these things down, like a detective who is collecting clues without the pressure of having to solve the case yet. Just learn to see. Think of trying to control every detail of your life as being in a car, repeatedly typing the same address into a GPS that has no signal, yelling at it to get it to work. It is useless and maddening. The act of stopping caring, of practicing surrender, is like pulling over, taking a deep breath and relaxing. It is waiting for the signal to come back. And suddenly, when you least expect it, a calm and clear voice, which is your intuition, says, "Signal found. Turn right at the next unexpected opportunity." And so, we arrive at the state of being that is the end result of this entire journey. And it is born from the pain of a dream that seems distant. It is the deep desire for a life with more lightness, with more grace, with more magic. But it is a desire that comes with the limiting belief that this kind of life is reserved only for lucky or very spiritual people, and not for you, who live in the real world with real problems. What you discover when you master the art of sacred indifference is that this state of grace, the state of flow, is not a gift, but a consequence. It is a dance of co-creation between you and life, a dance that has 3 steps. First, you define your intention clearly, using the strength of your ego to point a direction. Second, you completely let go of your attachment to the outcome, handing over the how and when to the wisdom of yourself. And third, you learn to act in the world, no longer driven by anxiety, but only when genuine inspiration and joy move you. And the final revelation, the one that informs our entire conversation, is this: the goal of stopping caring was never to stop caring about anything. The goal was always to learn to care about the one thing you can truly control, your inner state. By mastering your peace, calm, and confident, you master your reality. You stop being a slave to your circumstances and become a conscious partner with the universe in the process of creating your life. To live this dance, you can adopt a new compass for your daily life. When you wake up, instead of asking yourself with a heavy heart, "What do I have to do today?" Take a deep breath and ask yourself a different question. Where is my joy today? What action, no matter how small, would bring me a sense of energy and expansion? And then simply follow that energy. Follow the golden thread of your own joy. It will always lead you to your next right step. Think about how before, when you tried to control everything, you were like a swimmer trying to fight the waves of the ocean, always exhausted, always swallowing water. When you stop caring about control, you don't leave the sea. You learn to surf. You don't control the ocean. That would be impossible. But you learn to feel your rhythm, to respect your power, and to position yourself wisely to ride the perfect wave. That wave that life sends you and that will take you to the beach with a speed, a power, and an indescribable joy that your effort as a swimmer could never achieve. We have journeyed together today from the prison of anxious striving, from the weariness of the controller, to the freedom of trusting surrender, to the joy of the dancer flowing with the music of life. We have seen that our attachment is what creates resistance, and that our peace is what opens the way. And the central truth that I would like to dwell in your hearts is this: stopping caring is the act of withdrawing your identity and your worth from the external outcome and anchoring them firmly in your inner peace. And this is the highest and most powerful act of trust in life that a human being can perform. For the pinnacle of the journey of individuation, the height of the soul's wisdom, is the moment when the ego finally understands its true and noble function, not to be the dictator of the psyche, but to be the conscious partner and loyal servant of the self. The surrender of control is not the defeat of the ego, it is its crowning. You are allowed to let go of the burden. You are allowed to trust. Your inner peace is the incubator of all your future miracles. Stop worrying about the how. Fall in love with the process of caring for your own peace. And then, with quiet wonder, watch as everything you once so desperately pursued finally finds its way to you. Gratitude.